There it is.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Controversy. This is an apt episode because we are. I'm not sure how many days out from the slap heard around the world. Yeah, it's so weird. Okay, so that's the most current thing that I could think of that's controversial, other than I don't know Ukraine and Russia.
Other than that,
Other than a war,
international conflict.
Yeah. Other than international, did you hear about the once funny man slapping the other funny man? Or whatever. No, but there's a lot of people that think that it was fake. It was fake to try to boost ratings for the.
I had to rewatch it a bunch of times because I was like it. I was trying to think. When you stage slap someone and you make the sound and the person.
Yeah, it's what they do in pro wrestling.
Yeah, they're like pro.
Exactly. They'll do a kick. They'll do a kick to your face, and they slap their fucking thigh at the same time.
Exactly. Yes. The slap of the thigh. And I was trying to look for any kind of that, but I don't know. It's so. I also think it's like people. It's funny. I think it's funny that comedians are like, what if audience members start attacking comedians? I would be like, maybe it would make comedy exciting. Yes, because please, let's do something because we got to liven it up a little bit.
Oh yeah, dude. The open mics. I did a joke about that where it's like, there's open mic comedians are talking about like, oh man, cancel culture. It's like, dude, you want to know what cancel culture really was? Court jesters. I was like, if you weren't funny, you got fucking murdered, dude.
Yeah, cut your head off.
Yeah, dude. It'd be like,
they
so
kept
anyway,
the little hat on.
Yeah. So women be shopping. No. Just like fucking open mic lists clear up real quickly.
Airplane food stinks. Like, jingling, ling, ling.
Yeah,
that the little hat jingles.
Those large 50 person open mics in New York City drops to like 10 people. Dude.
That's so funny. I had a buddy who lived in New York, and then he moved to the suburbs of Detroit, as he says. And he said he goes to open mics little by little out there. But he said Detroit's just like 50 people with no. He was like, nobody's good, and it's terrible. And he goes, and the open mics are so long. Yeah. And he was like, New York, it was that many people. He's like, but there were some really good comics. Yeah. And I was like, man, Jacksonville, it's like 8 comics. Yeah. And I was like, and everyone does every single mic. And he was like, that sounds amazing. And I was like, yeah, I mean.
Now lately, though, some of the mics are starting to get a little longer.
Yeah.
We're starting to average like 20 or so.
Comics, yeah.
And the thing is, the hosts are so used to the 8 comics that they're giving them 8 comics amount of time.
Oh, so okay. So the mics are like 3 hours
like,
long.
hey, in like other cities they do 3 minutes, or 5. And
traditional open mics was like 3 minutes.
Yeah, we're over here doing like 5 to 10 on some people.
Yeah.
Now I understand like a veteran comic who's like just savvy and is gonna like some comics.
Like bringing the show up.
Yeah. Also, some comics hosts, they like to take smoke breaks.
Yeah.
So they'll put up a veteran comic for like 12 minutes just so they can get a good drag on their fucking Marlboros.
That's really funny.
Yeah. But like controversy, like there's always conspiracy theories. Like, oh, was the moon landing real? Like shit like that, or flat
because of Kubrick.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because he did a fucking fantastic bang up job with 2001: Space Odyssey, and
like nothing looked at remotely close to that.
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting. I love like the power stuff behind, like, because there's like nutty conspiracy theories like birds aren't real or the earth is flat. And you're like, dude, get the fuck out of here. But they'll be like, the day before 9/11, it was reported that $2 trillion was missing, and then the office that had all the paperwork for that was blown up in the Pentagon. That that wing.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So you can look into that.
Yeah.
Like, what's that about?
Yeah.
So if you follow the money, which is everything comes back to money and power.
Oh, absolutely.
And so you could cut all the, but like that's where
like Epstein, the whole Epstein
thing, is a clear cut. That that's right in front of everyone's face. Everyone was like, they're gonna murder this guy in jail, and they were like, they murdered him, or whatever.
He killed himself.
Quote unquote, or whatever. And then they're like, the cameras were broken, the guards are gone, and you're like,
come on.
So they just want you to know, they're like, just don't fuck with us, whatever that is. And but
the Illuminati or whatever, the
it's
Illuminati.
not even like, because people will say that, and I watched something. It was in like a documentary about some guy who was like a counterculturist.
Yeah,
and he was like a contributor to like Penthouse, I think.
Yeah,
one of those. He started writing like fake conspiracy theories.
Oh, that's funny.
In letters into the thing, as a joke to show people like, this is so stupid. Like, you people are retards. Why you whatever, doing that? Believe in this. And those fake ones got woven into current, lore. Yeah. Illuminati is one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, see, it's so funny because they always talk about all these secret societies, like, the shrine. What are not the Shriners? Well, Shriners is one, and then the Masons.
Freemasons.
Freemasons, and it's like, it's a secret society.
It's just like an old man club.
It's not a secret society per se.
Yeah.
When, like, Daryl that fucking works at Ace Hardware is a member. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I want a secret society like that.
You want, like, fuck all that. Look into the World Economic Forum.
Yeah.
Like, these are like the most powerful people in the world, and they'll map out like, hey, this is what we feel like the world is going to, and what should happen, and why. And there's like the most powerful people making decisions on the largest. And this is not conspiracy. This is just the people who are most powerful.
Yeah.
And it's like juvenile to think that shit doesn't exist. It's like, there's powerful people in the world,
Yeah.
So, what happens though is like you get nuts. Like there's all these nutty things.
Yeah.
And it all gets convoluted together. And I think I think that's done purposely, like dividing people on dumb issues, like dumb social issues, is beneficial to powerful people.
Yeah.
Doing what they want, because no one pays attention to that.
Yeah.
And that's I hate even talking like that, because people will be like, well, you're a nutty conspiracy theorist.
No,
like,
there's some things you just...
It's just like follow money, It's like, mostly about money and power.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Now, the things that's funny to me are things that have changed. They used to be controversial, and then have changed because time has changed, society, or like, for example, like, because I remember, was it I Love Lucy, where they slept in the same bed?
Yeah, one of those, that was like the first one where they slept in the
same bed. And then I think another one was the first one where...
How amazing would it be to have your own bed as a I don't know if it, like, I sleep in a bed with my lady and 2 dogs, and it's crowded in there. Like, I would love my own bed sometimes.
It's it's so funny you said that, because now that I'm like like, sleeping and cuddling with someone, I missed that. I missed the big spoon, little spoon shit. But then I also have been sleeping by myself for over 4 years or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, oh fuck, like, so. But basically, we made a compromise. It's like, we'll spoon until we're getting ready to actually go to sleep,
and then
that's
a good policy.
Yeah,
that's a good policy.
Yeah. We'll cuddle till we get relaxed, and then once sleep is actually upon us, because I admit a lot of body heat. I'm wonderful in the winter, terrible in the summer.
Me too. I always say I run hot.
Yeah.
We don't cuddle anymore. We once in a while we'll drape a hand over the middle pillow that we keep in between us.
Yeah.
And then we'll touch hands for a few moments.
Yeah,
that's nice.
That's the long-term relationship. Yeah. Long-term relationship. Big spoon, little spoon.
The dogs will come up and just sit on you, though.
Oh yeah,
so that's fun.
They don't give their fucks. Yeah. Dogs, cats.
Yeah. Controversies. People love a controversy, and then in the news, it's always something new, and then it's gone in a week. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they always make it seem like the biggest deal, whatever it is.
Well, yeah. Now it's like one of my favorite things, dude. Not Rick Scott. Rick Scott was bad too, the former governor of Florida. But Ron DeSantis, I've been talking about this on stage, but it's the funniest thing of where he basically has declared the second place winner of the women's
Of the swimming.
of the swim meet or whatever
as the champion.
As
She's
the
from
champion?
Sarasota,
yeah.
right?
But also because he doesn't, in his
He
mind,
doesn't acknowledge. Is that what his?
yeah, he
his
doesn't
stance?
acknowledge that the winner is a woman because it wasn't a biological female.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
biological female. But that has such big. I bought a hooker, and that hooker made me come, and then I found out later that the hooker had a dick energy. Like it's like, hold on, guys.
He's like that guy in Train Spotting.
It doesn't count. It doesn't count. She had a dick. It doesn't count. All right, it doesn't count. No, like, dude, she made you come, dude. Like it had so much of that energy. It's so like when I saw the fucking press conference or whatever, he was like the winner, and he's doing the hands because he's a fucking Trump minion. But it's just, but he's like, we acknowledge that from Sarasota, Florida, is the winner of the, in the state of Florida. And it's just, all I could think about was just like, you bought a threesome. And it's like, which one did you made me come? You did? Oh, no. Like, no, you made me come. You're the one. Yeah. It was very much that energy. I was just laughing, just thinking about him fucking.
So, where do you stand on that? Like
What?
the women's sports thing, like trans male to female.
I mean, I understand the arguments that people have about natural muscle mass.
They say it's like it's done sport by sport right now, right? I think that's the policy.
I mean, but here's the thing: that swimmer, I can't remember her name, whatever.
Leah something.
Leah Thomas.
Leah Thomas.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, because it was Liam.
Oh, okay, gotcha. And so that swimmer,
Which is funny because it's like you could pick any name if you're a guy. Like if I was Dan, I'm Dan, and then if I went to become a lady, and like if you're making that big of a change,
yeah,
and all the only creativity you come up with is Danielle,
yeah,
that's kind of a letdown, isn't it?
yeah.
Don't you feel like wouldn't you? I would go like I don't know, like Shaquanda,
Yeah. And my thing is like in sports there are always biological advantages. Even in men's sports. Like for example, there was times in my life where I would be on the basketball court. I'm like, yeah, man, I would love to be on the Bulls or the Knicks or whatever. But I'm like,
you could probably be on the Knicks.
I'm 5', maybe now, yeah. But I'm 5'7", maybe at best gonna be 5'9".
Yeah,
that ship is.
If you go to the chiropractor,
I can't just like willy nilly dunk. I could touch a rim when I was in high school, but like
really,
yeah,
wow,
yeah. I actually at one point I used to be able to touch a rim without running start.
Holy shit!
Yeah, but I didn't have enough hops.
I don't even know if I was ever able to even touch a net.
Oh yeah, I could touch the net like for easily, but like the rim, I touched the rim like
wow,
yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, well, also I had like trained. I have huge leg muscles, but I used to have trained huge leg muscles. Like they were,
Marcus has calves like a sequoia tree.
Oh, dude, it's yeah, they're unbelievable. I guess like I actually measured it up to people's heads.
He has. I've been standing calves.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah,
but I used to but even then,
I have office chair calves.
But even then, the biological advantage is people that are 6'11", 7'2", like I can't like even if I had the most hops for my height, I still have to do like I worked with a guy at the mall who was 7'4", barefooted. I trained him, and when he wore his hat and his boots and all that, he was 8 foot tall. We measured it. Yeah, so there's a biological advantage of him responding to a fight that's happening in the mall.
Yeah.
When I roll up there, they want to fight me because I look like that.
Yeah,
they have a fighting chance.
You could be fought.
And then 8 foot guy rolls up there. They're like, we're done fighting.
Yeah,
it's not worth it. And he was soft as fuck, But like my thing is like there's just biological advantages. Michael Phelps had a biological advantage. He had longer arms than his height was, and like the way his framework was.
Yeah,
And also, here's my thing. This is controversial, I guess you could say, is honestly, especially like contact sports. let them do everything. I don't give a fuck. Put them on mushrooms. I want to see 2 UFC fighters on heroin. I want to see that. I want to see how that.
You say legalize all drugs, performance enhancing and otherwise, and let everyone do everything.
Just do.
I see,
because that's what we're watching it for. We're watching it for the carnage. We're not watching it for the sportsmanship.
This is where let's start it in Jacksonville. I feel like Jacksonville has a good market for starting anything you want.
Yeah.
We need to start what the XFL should have been. We need to name it something else. We need to, something FL, something football league, and it's a steroid or a steroid encouraged league, like where you encourage and all performance enhancing drugs are legal, and then everything else is the same.
Or we just have a bunch of suicidal players, and it would call it the XFL. It'd be like the Extreme Fentanyl League, and it would just be dudes on fentanyl. Half the team dies before the half. Like.
I think. I wonder how because it's illegal in the most major leagues. I wonder why no one's ever done that.
Yeah.
Why not do that?
Also, like
no drug policy.
Yeah, fucking
league.
Like, I want to see an all steroid home run derby. That's it.
That's what they need.
Actually, that was
actually
Mark.
I think it's one of the cures for the homeless problem. I think they need to let them do drugs in their work release program. But that's for another day.
What is this controversial? I have another thing.
The homeless problem is a controversy.
Yeah, it is. Like when they gentrify places, they don't ever take care of the people there that they push out. They just push them out, and they're like, "You figure it out."
Yeah.
And so people are like, "Why are there so many homeless people in this area?" It was like, well, they kicked them out of the other area, and they have nowhere to go. Yeah. And they can't euthanize them. If I could genocide homeless people,
it's an option.
Yeah. Another thing though, I had an idea for this. This is ridiculous. Combine punishment for pedophiles and punishment for scared straight kids together.
Oh my god!
And so have like the pedophiles race, like almost like dog track style, but they're chasing a kid.
A troubled kid is
a
the rabbit.
A troubled kid is the rabbit. Yeah, and then if he catches you, you have to marry him. Like
you have to stay 30 days.
Yeah, it's just a kid on a harness on a little mechanical device, and he's got like those overalls with the ass that hangs out.
We were watching 60 Days In. You ever see that show?
No.
It's like a show where citizens will volunteer to go into a prison for 60 days.
Oh shit!
And pretend they're a prisoner.
Oh. Fuck.
And it's like cameras and all that shit. And I've watched it in the past, and it's usually like a pretty tame show. It'd be like everyone's sitting around in like a common area, and they're like playing dominoes or whatever. And this latest season or whatever, it's like I don't know what we're watching. I guess it's the latest season. But everyone who signed up, the place that they go, they bring them, is so insane. It's like 10 times as many prisoners, so it's like real crowded.
Yeah,
where they are. And it's like everybody's violent and insane. It's like Oz. Like it's fucking.
Oh, like they're going to like real fucking prisons.
Yeah, like they're signing up and they're like, I'm excited to do this. I want to see how jail works from the inside. And every show I've ever seen like this, that's how the people are.
Yeah.
And they normally go in and they're like living in jail, and they're like, this is what I'm learning, kind of thing. This latest season, everyone goes in and they're like, I'm scared for my life. People were quitting before they even got into the thing.
That's what I want to see. When you told me
they're
that,
tapping out, and they're like, we can't take you out of this holding cell right now because people will know something's up, and you're compromising other people. Like you're going to put other people in danger. And people are having like panic attacks. People went in, they're like, what the fuck did I do? And they're not like, reality TV is mostly bullshit.
Yeah.
These people seem really scared, and it seems really bad, and it's so fun. It's so entertaining. 'Cause you're like,
that sounds awesome. Because the first thing when you mentioned that, I was like, I wanted, if it's realistic, I wanted people fearing of shanking and ass rape.
Yeah. Normally, everyone I've watched before this episode or this season, or whatever, it was always like. It was like you're like, oh, I could see why people would be like kind of interested in doing that. I would never do that. It seems too risky. I would still be scared.
Yeah.
This shit looks like a fucking foreign country. Like, I don't know if they were like, we need more viewers, we got to step it up, or what, or if there's just more people in prison. But I mean, there's just.
Hi, my name is Jeff, and I've been here for 4 days. And he's like, hold my pocket, bitch. I'm like, okay. Like, fucking.
Oh man, it's funny.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
dude, that's hilarious.
They should. Yeah. What else is controversial?
The Well, I mean, like, it's weird. Was it Will Smith used to be the most like clean, family friendly?
All those old good black family comedies are going down in flames.
Dude,
Cosby, Will Smith.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Who's next? Carl Winslow is gonna do something fucked up.
Oh, dude,
please no! I love Carl.
Well, yeah, I think it was what's his name, Reginald Van something or whatever is his real name.
I don't know
because he was in Die Hard.
Yeah, and he was just Carl Winslow again, but he was.
Well, news today: the actor formerly known as Carl Winslow was the head of a fucking.
He's gonna like drive a car into a petting zoo or something atrocious.
or he's selling like leather hides, but they're just people.
Yeah,
you know? Like
he's like an Ed Gein.
Yeah, he's a fucking
Leatherface. Yeah, Fresh Prince. He's beyond the whole smacking incident. Like before that, when they did him and and Jada.
Yeah.
When they sat down and she like described how she cheated on him. And he just like sat there and like kind of mildly cried.
Yeah.
And then the whole world like mocked him for months after that.
Yeah.
Like that probably didn't do well for his mental health.
Oh no.
And now he just seems that much more he seems like he's losing his mind.
Yeah, I mean,
but in front of like in public, and it's like it's interesting and it's entertaining, but it's like it's sad to see. I can't imagine what that's like, being like that public. I mean,
no, it's something I wouldn't want. I'm no famous person by any means, but I've lived in cities where I did every venue in that city just about.
Yeah,
and people will eventually start recognizing you.
Yeah, yeah,
and it's weird when they recognize you when you don't expect it. And I can only imagine because I've had it a couple times. I've had some interesting ones,
and it's usually good. It's like, oh, hey, Marcus, here's a free drink.
Sometimes, like that.
But
now, there was a couple of them that were weird, very weird. Like getting recognized in the bathroom while pissing was weird. And then like there was the cop that responded to the accident where I pulled a dead lady out of the car. What? Yeah. Okay. So there was an accident. Long story, I think it said it in another episode, but I'll do the paraphrase version of it, or the abridged version. I was on the way to drop off my car so my girlfriend could use my car while I did a road trip with some other comics to Texas.
Oh wow!
And on the way to drop off my car, I witnessed an accident, a fatal accident in front of me.
Oh, and shit.
She was a bigger girl, so I had to help pull because everyone was like small framed. So I basically pulled the woman out of the car, and then we tried to unsuccessfully do resuscitation on her.
Yeah,
and the ambulance and everything, we escorted them in. Long story short, the state trooper that had to do my witness statement recognized me as basically the go-to host for a local comedy club that we had here in Jacksonville.
Oh,
and he got super excited. Like he was rolling up to the accident. He goes, "What's up, man?" I'm like, no. This is not. So that was
do that bit about ice cream.
Yeah. You got no neck. This lady broke her neck. Like
she has no neck.
Yeah. Now she has no pulse either. And so like that was just, like that's a one incident that sticks out. So I couldn't even imagine the magnitude of incidences where people were like some of them like dealt with people hiding out in bushes and shit to try to get an autograph. I couldn't even imagine.
Or just like you can't go out in public without people bothering you or staring at you or whatever. I feel like I would be so mean, or I'd be a recluse. I wouldn't come out.
No, yeah.
I would buy a big house and stay in there.
You know how it is when you go to a show and they find out you ever done this? I know it happens a lot in like the little outskirts towns in Florida.
Yeah.
They find out you're a comedian and then they want to just start like running their material on you and doing all they get too comfortable.
Or if they ask you where you get your material, you just
So imagine like
God.
someone who's been on TV and been in movies and been interviewed, and these people consume that, and then they think they know you.
Yeah.
And so they see you, they're like, "What's up, Will? How's Jada? How's Jaden?" It's like, you don't fucking know me, dude. Like it's
weird. This is weird.
Yeah.
It's
so
weird.
And then years and years of that, decades of that, and it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I can see where months ago when people were giving him shit about his what they call it, entanglements and stuff like that. He basically got cucked on live TV.
Yeah.
And then someone just makes a joke about your wife, and then she gives you a look, and you're like, oh, I gotta fucking kill this guy.
Yeah, I gotta do something to defend her honor. But the weird thing is that when you look at that other angle, when it's the angle from behind, the two of them, they don't make eye contact with each other
after the slap.
Yeah, like after he comes and sits down, she never looks over. Like, wouldn't you think?
Yeah,
you'd immediately look,
or even get up and just pat him on the back or something.
Right? Yeah. There would be something.
But then again, I'm not a Hollywood elite, so I don't know. Maybe
I don't know how that works.
Lizard people don't have emotions, That's
it's like it's everyone loves a good controversy. There's always like a person who's like in the hot seat,
Yeah.
And then they rotate, and it's just a new
thing.
But
here's my thing is like I think this is a little borderline on conspiracy theory. It always seems funny how like there's a big national or international conflict, and then some celebrity would do something fucked up and stupid. I think Chappelle talked about that with Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, they're asking a lot of questions, Mike. We need you to suck another kid's dick or whatever. We need to blow another kid, Mike. You got to do it for the country,
Yeah. I mean, it's weird. It's like I truly, I think it's like, they like to keep people like entertained and distracted,
Yeah. But
I mean, the news is owned by like a very small amount of
like 4 companies that own all the news outlets.
Like all of it. So
yeah,
and it's all remarkably similar.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. It's just nuts. I joked about this with my friends of mine from California.
Yeah.
I just said, "Hey, remember COVID?" And they were like, "Fuck you! A year and a half of vaccine." They were just going off on me, and you're crazy, blah blah. And that's all I said.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wow, you can't even you can't even joke about how it's not brought up as much anymore." You know? And people would be like, Vladimir Putin cured COVID, and joke like,
where they don't, both sides don't see the joke.
Yeah.
But for different reasons.
Yeah.
Some people are like, yo, he's playing into my conspiracy theory about Putin,
Yeah.
Fucking, you create that. What do you feel about the booster shots?
I didn't get one because my job required us to get vaccinated. So I got the first 2.
Yeah.
And then there wasn't a requirement to get a booster shot. And I viewed it as like just, I was like, it feels like a money grab opportunity. It felt
also,
unnecessary.
This like I said, this borders on conspiracy theory, but also controversy. I know a couple of people that got the booster shot.
Yeah.
And they're all now coming down with like very serious health issues.
Yeah, I know.
And it's weird. It's very like, it's very weird.
I know. Yeah.
So
me
like,
too.
my thing is like, I at this point between the comedy and door dashing, and I'm out around people all the time. I'm not getting the booster shot. I'm not getting it, because like my thing is like, I mean, it would be more for the protection of other people, but we live in Florida. No one really gives a fuck.
Yeah, it's kind of
such a weird.
I know, and that like all that is like so confusing too, because even they say like even if you get it, like you could still spread it. So it's like
Yeah, but also these new variants are less deadly. They're just more contagious.
yeah, and we're young, so
Yeah.
it's like like the chances of it doing anything to you are very
Yeah,
slim.
because OG COVID was brutal. I got
Yeah,
sick.
I remember you saying that.
I got sick with OG COVID, and that was no fun.
I feel like I probably got like a variant or something along the. I remember being tired for 2 days, but I don't know.
Yeah. But then we're past 30, so we just
it could just be
tired.
just being tired. Yeah, just had to eat a little heavy.
I'm so sore and yeah.
But that whole thing's like controversial because people are so one side or the other on it. But I think it's again it like follow the money.
Yeah.
Like Pfizer made a tremendous amount of money off the pandemic.
A couple billion, right?
A lot, yeah. Well, their free cash flow went from like I haven't looked at it in a little while, but it was like 13 billion to like 29 billion.
Jesus Christ.
Or like 13 to like 31. It was doubled or tripled, or like a little over doubled, I want to say. And I guess people will be like, well, they did the thing, but it's corporations are very greedy. That's nothing new, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I think powerful people work together, and a lot of it's for money, you know? And we'll probably get shadow banned for even saying this.
Yeah.
We're get kicked off. We're not even monetized. They can't demonetize what's not monetized.
Yeah. You can't break what's already broken, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know, like,
but it was funny, like it was like every single day it was like there's no end in sight, everyone's gonna die, COVID, and then there's like a hard stop. They're like Ukraine now, and everyone's like, I love Ukraine, and you're like, it's wild if you are not like invested in it, which is what I feel like I am. I don't watch the news or like read the news even often. I'll like so I feel like I'm like watching from the stands, you know?
Yeah.
So to say, or like watching from afar.
That's how I am. I just like part of me is just like mentally I can't take on
it's
more.
like depressing if you really read it. And
people are like, well, you don't care about the world. Like, I barely care about myself sometimes.
I can barely.
I mean, now more recently, I've been in better spirits, but like, I mean, if you saw what I ate, you could you know that I didn't care about myself, much less you and your fucking family and
yeah.
You know,
well, there's something to be said about focusing on your immediate world. You know, like things you can't control, like big world news stories.
Yeah.
People will get so invested and worked up and angry over it.
Yeah.
And you could choose to do that, but like it's not there's not much you could do / nothing you could do about all of it.
Yeah.
So like cultivate your own garden, you know, like focus on your own world and do good in your own immediate life. And that's good. That's like what all you could I think if everyone does that, then it makes the world as a whole better.
Yeah.
Because it's like if you could be good or spread good or help people do good things.
Yeah.
If everyone tries to do that, which I think is like innate in human nature, I think it's like part of it.
Yeah. It's just weird how like at one point also it was like the news was unreliable, so people got their news from comedians. Like that's how.
Yeah, I remember when the Daily Show was like the gold standard for Trump.
I mean, that's how Joe Rogan became the prominence. Was him? You know, they're like he tells the truth. You know, whatever. Like, it's just weird how like we're just court gestures, dude. That's all we're supposed to be.
I know,
you know? But now we live in a society where they hold on to our words so much.
Yeah, it's weird that they take.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it's weird that they take comedians so seriously.
Yeah,
you know, it's like when you're supposed to be joking around, whereas like. You know, people will say that like you could make a rape joke, you know, and they'll be like you're an evil person, but someone could vividly depict rape in film and they'll win awards.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, well,
also, why are you holding some comedians? There's some comedians that are performing under a fucking stage name.
Yeah,
like we're already lying to you. So why do you believe that what we feel about this topic?
It's all just crazy make 'em ups.
Yeah,
I love
They're treating us like pro wrestling in the 70s or in the 80s.
Yeah.
It's real. It's like, no, it's not. I don't want genocide.
And that's what it's so stifling for creativity and comedy in general. Like to take it seriously is like the worst thing you could do, because it's immediately not funny. But it's also like people will be scared to try new things or test new boundaries.
Yeah.
And not to be shocking, but just purely creative, like going outside the bounds. I remember one open micer, his name is Michael Wendorf. He lives in Chicago now. I don't think he does comedy anymore, but he used to he would do open mics, and he would lay on his back on the stage, like flat out like a snow angel.
Yeah.
And talk about space. And it was so bizarre, bizarre, you know.
That's funny though.
And I would like see that, and I was like, man, I love this guy. I love him.
Yeah.
And then like just weird out there people, like it's fun to see. Whereas like I feel like the more critical the world is, or more they put it under a microscope comedy, the more they like try to get people to just be like a particular. Yeah, same kind of safe horse shit.
It feels out of whack. Like the universe is off when people are getting mad at comedy.
Yeah,
getting mad at comedy. That's like crying watching porn.
Yeah,
like, it's like this is not the emotion you're supposed to have. For
I also feel like a lot of comedy, a lot of like current comedy is just like getting people to agree with just putting thoughts out there that people already have, not new things, not trying to get someone to look at things in a new way, but just getting people like having people acknowledge how they already feel, and that's never good. It's always lends to like really safe, boring comedy.
It's annoying because then people are just like that's okay. As I'm multi-ethnic, so like one of the things I get annoyed by whenever there's ethnic comics, comics of a certain like race, is just every comic that is that, like for example Indian comics, like from the country India, like they I don't know why I explained that to you.
You know a lot of Native American comics.
Yeah, these fucking, oh Jesus Christ. Good things on the controversy episode. Good God. No, but like so a lot of like it's the same thing with Filipino comics and stuff. Yeah. It's like they're just like, I understand you want to do comedy where like yes, you're a marginalized community and you want to, even though Indians probably comprise more population than most
I know,
Americans.
There's a ton of those.
But in the United States, they're a marginalized community. And I understand, like, Filipinos or any of these cultures, they're like, oh yeah, we talk like this, whatever. It's like, and it's like, it's very annoying. It's very annoying because it's like, why don't you do something to shake it up a little bit? And so that was the one thing I hated about doing certain rooms where like, especially because I'm Hispanic, so I did a couple of Hispanic shows. And I have to preface like, hey, I don't speak Spanish, and I don't do all this other. My mom used to whoop me with a flip flop, but like it wasn't like chanclas flying everywhere. Yeah, and it also wired every Latino comic doing a chancla joke, dude. It's like, come on, what the fuck? Yeah. So it was very. It's
funny that ethnic comedy, like people don't want. I say this as a white guy. Like we're not supposed to make racial jokes.
Yeah.
Because they're like, fuck you, you're evil and terrible.
Yeah.
And then you go to an ethnic comedy show and everyone's joke is all stereotypes.
Yeah.
And they're just reinforcing really basic stereotypes.
Oh,
they're like, fuck you, white guy, you think you know us? And then they're like, you're like, Jesus, dude.
Reggaeton.
Yeah. Here comes the panacha.
Oh, God. Yeah, or them doing a Matrix joke, but them ducking the chancla, the fucking It's like, oh God, Jesus Christ, But but I guess it's the same thing could be said about like every chubby comic or every tall guy.
I know, it's like all the same shit.
Or every crippled motherfucker.
There's just too many people, and it's just too exposed. I think
Yeah. I think we just have too much access to everything. Is what it is.
Yeah, it's overstimulation. That's where something to be said about going into like nature and being outside and kind of being away from your phone.
Yeah.
And just really like it's like refreshing for your soul. You know, you feel like a person again.
Yeah, and it's so funny you said that because like a celebrity, if they go on a vacation, that's controversial.
Yeah,
them wanting to just unwind and get away from people.
Yeah,
somehow controversial. Why are they going on vacation? What did they do? I don't know. Maybe they wanted to fucking go to the Maldives. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or just not be recognized. Like go somewhere, not be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess tell us if you have any favorite controversies.
If you are able to hear this after we get shadow banned, but
for the Indian accent or the
we covered a couple of things.
Yeah, a couple of things.
But all those things that we covered.
Looking at mine,
we're kind of what's that?
That money that disappeared before 9/11.
Yeah. Hey, what's that red laser on your chest, bro?
What?
Yeah. And that would be dumb.
It's not cool to get assassinated. That would be dumb. But it is cool to be foolish.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.